Back in the 70s, collecting action figures and toys was a big thing. You had tons of cartoons, toys, TV shows, movies, Superman, the Batman and Robin TV show, the Wonder Woman TV show, the $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman. Everything was about action figures and toys. There's action figures and toys today, but it was much different back then. The action figures were bigger. Now, my favorite were Mego action figures. They used to cost $2 a piece. And you can find them at your local drugstore. And I tried to collect as many as I could. My friends would come over to my house. We would separate and divide our action figures, and we would try to make our own little movie. These are some of the more newer action figures from the 90s. You notice they got smaller. They didn't use cloth really that much, and it was just much different from the 70s. The 70s, to me, the 60s and the 70s was I'll say the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s was the golden age of action figures. Here are some more Mego action figures. Now, my dad, he took all my original action figures, Mego mainly, and my $6 Million Man, Fktwn, and so forth. He took them from me, and he said, I'm going to put them up in the attic. I said, am I going to get them back? He said, oh yeah. I never got them back. I had comic books, vintage baseball cards, vintage comic books, Marvel, DC, and I found out all that stuff was worth a lot of money. So I vowed that when I got grown, I was going to get all the toys, all the action figures, comic books, baseball cards, and ElectricTrains that I had when I was growing up. I was going to get them all back. And I had HotWheels too. Here are some more action figures. $6 Million Man, different variations, Bigfoot, Bionic Woman. Even Donnie and Marie had dolls. Donna Ross had a doll. Sonny and Cher had a doll. Welcome Back Carter figures. Happy Day figures. Star Wars had big figures. There's a lot of figures back then. Here's some more Mego action figures. Starsky and Hutch, Wizard of Oz, Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man, Lizard, Planet of the Apes. And then you had the G.I. Joe figures, which I had the big ones. They were 12-inch, well, more like 11-inch. And that was Bullet Man right there. Here are some more action figures mixed in. Had Evel Knievel had some action figures and the motorcycles. That was exciting back then. Farrah Fawcett, Wizard of Oz, Happy Days, $6 Million Man, RoboCop. Even Star Trek action figures. Forgot about those. Wonder Woman. You have the aliens of Star Trek. Those are hard to find. Still hard to find. I'm still adding to my collection of the superheroes. Green Arrow was my first Mego figure. And, what's his name? Aquaman, Shazam, Isis, Catwoman. The women figures of Mego are worth even more money than the guys' figures. Those are even harder to find, and in good condition. If you can find anything in the box, even more. Here's some more of my Mego figures. Captain America. They're about to do a movie on him now. Thor. They just did a movie on him. Iron Man. Of course, y'all know they did a movie on him. So anytime they do a movie on a figure or a superhero, all the comics and the action figures go up in price. Here's another room with toys on the ceiling, toys on a wall, toys not out of the package, they're still in the package. Collect all kind of toys. I love toys. They remind me of my childhood. It's so bad right now nowadays. I know with my toys I can go back and look at them, and I could think back to when I was a child growing up in Brooklyn, New York, how peaceful it was, and if I get where I want to be bad, I just take a toy out the package and ha ha ha. Plus you can always sell them if you want some money. Here are some Star Wars figures. I forgot about that. I got into even Spice Girl figures. MC Hammer, he had a doll out. Will Smith, Wild Wild West. I got a Brandy doll. Even the no-name dolls, the dollar store dolls are worth money, believe it or not. And then I have some knockoffs of the Spice Girl dolls. I got Austin Power figures. And even some X-File figures. Let y'all see that. This is the way I have my figures arranged in my toy room. You notice I got a big old Spider-Man. You know, I collect costumes. I had the idea of, I read on the internet about a guy who brought mannequins, and he brought superhero costumes, and he would put them on the mannequins. So that way you have a giant action figure. I said, So I tried that with Spider-Man, and that looks so cool in your toy room. Well, it looks like that's it. No more pictures as far as toys for right now. But stay tuned. I'll have more pictures of my toys, vintage toy collection. But keep collecting toys and action figures and trains and so forth. They're worth a lot of money, and Hot Wheels, and you enjoy them. Just don't let your kids get to them.